We pick up with Bulma, Kal-El, Goku, and Grandpa Gohan starting off their quest to find the Dragon Balls. In the early days of their journey, they come across Turtle in distress. Turtle, is that you? Grandpa Gohan asks. Gohan, yes, it's me. Please help, Turtle responds. And Grandpa Gohan tells Goku and Kal-El to help Turtle by saving him from the bear thief. Grandpa Gohan lets the boys know that Turtle is an old friend of his and belongs to his old master, Master Roshi. The group, along with Turtle, then travel to Roshi's island, and that's when the boys are introduced to Master Roshi. They're yours? Roshi asks Gohan in shock. Yes, Gohan answers. And the girl? Roshi asks with clear thirst in his voice. She's a companion. We are traveling with her to help her find the Dragon Balls, Gohan tells him. Roshi decides to gift the boys the flying Nimbus as a reward for saving Turtle, and he does Bulma a favor and hands her his Dragon Ball, seeing that she's traveling with an old student of his. Gohan still hasn't fully recovered from the giant ape injuries, and so Roshi and Turtle attempt to convince him to stay on the island until he's fully healed. He's eventually convinced after the point is made that the boys were able to handle the bear thief, and since there's two of them, they can look after each other. Gohan stays at Kame House while Goku, Bulma, and Kal-El continue on their quest. While on this journey, Kal-El has been learning a lot of things from Bulma. He has been curious about the technology that she has and how it works. Remember, Kal-El's parents were both genius-level scientists on Krypton. And although intelligence and interests aren't always genetic, in some instances they actually are. Kal-El may not be a genius to the level of his biological parents, but he did inherit their scientific curiosity. The trio go on collecting the balls, as happened in canon, and they run into and befriend Oolong and Yamcha along the way. The journey might be slightly easier than it was in canon, seeing that there are two of them. Goku is still a superior fighter to Kal-El, and he's physically stronger. But Kal-El is also an above-average fighter when compared to other normal people. Once they have collected all 7 Dragon Balls, the group gets robbed of them by the Pilaf gang. Like in the original story, when Emperor Pilaf is about to make his wish, he is usurped by Oolong, who wishes for hundreds of women's panties. This angers Pilaf, and he decides to imprison the entire squad in his castle. From the prison, Goku is able to see the full moon, and so he transforms into his giant ape form again. The stress of the moment allows Kal-El to tap into the feeling he felt the first time he went through this, and he is able to make use of his heat vision again. He uses it to blast giant ape Goku square in the chest once again, knocking him out. He then uses it to destroy the prison, allowing the whole group to escape. Bulma accompanies Kal-El and Goku back to Kame House before she heads back to her home in West City. While on the island, they see that Grandpa Gohan has made significant improvement in his recovery. This is when Goku asks the following. Master Roshi, since you trained our Grandpa Gohan, do you think you'd be able to train Kal-El and me? Well, I would need some motivation in order to say yes, Roshi replies. What sorts of motivation? Kal-El asks, and Roshi looks over to Bulma and winks at her in a very creepy way. Bulma is mortified by this, but Roshi clarifies that he just wants her panties. And after some back and forth between Bulma and Roshi, she eventually gives them to him, seeing that Kal-El and Goku are her friends, and they were truly helpful in her quest. Kal-El then says, I don't think I want to train here, and everyone looks at him in confusion. He continues by saying, Bulma has mentioned another form of training where they can teach me about these driving machines and insects and all sorts of stuff. They can train me on the wonders of the world. Oh, he means school, Bulma clarifies. Yes, Kal-El was wondering how I know so much about, well, everything, and I told him I learnt a lot of it from school. Yes, school, Kal-El says. Grandpa Gohan, is it okay if I pursue this school training with Bulma instead of training here with Master Roshi? Grandpa Gohan agrees, and so Kal-El goes off with Bulma while Goku stays on Roshi's island. A few months pass and Goku's martial arts training under Master Roshi has begun. Grandpa Gohan has gone back to his home to rebuild, and a boy named Krillin has arrived on the island to also be trained by Roshi. Goku and Krillin are trained side by side. Back in West City, Bulma's family has welcomed Kal-El with open arms. Her father, Dr. Brief, has arranged for tutors to come teach Kal-El. To everyone's surprise, Kal-El caught on very quickly for someone who was illiterate a few months ago. He's essentially a sponge for knowledge. Another 8 months pass. Goku and Krillin have been undergoing very rigorous training, and Kal-El has already caught up to his age mates in terms of formal education. Goku and Krillin decide to participate in the 21st Tenkaichi Budokai. The pair travels to West City to see Kal-El, and when they arrive, the brothers are happy to be reunited. "This is my brother, Kal-El," Goku says to Krillin. "And this is Krillin, my friend." Kal-El acknowledges Krillin, and the brothers just catch each other up. "The fire eyes. Are you able to control it now?" Goku asks. "Yeah," Kal-El answers. "Dr. Brief helped me with some focus techniques, and now I can control how powerful I make the blasts. I can do small blasts to boil water, and I can do big blasts to blow up rocks." Goku then follows up by saying, "Master Roshi says every good attack has a name. What are you going to call it?" Kal-El is quiet for a bit before saying, "Bulma calls it heat vision. So yeah, heat vision." "Where is this Bulma?" Krillin asks. Kal-El and Goku look at him in a bit of shock. They had gotten so caught up in speaking to each other that they had forgotten that he was also there. "She went out with her boyfriend, Yamcha." Then Krillin says, "Goku says you guys are twins. How come you don't look the same?" Kal-El then answers, "I read about this. Sometimes siblings and even twins don't look the same. They can also have different talents. You see, Goku has his ape form and I have my heat vision." Kal-El, Goku, and Krillin then travel to the tournament. Kal-El isn't participating, so the tournament goes as it did in canon. The final fight is in the evening, and it's Goku versus Jackie Chan. It's an epic battle, but unfortunately, during the fight, Goku looks up at the sky and sees the full moon. This causes him to involuntarily transform into his giant ape form. Giant ape Goku begins wreaking havoc, and Jackie Chan tries to keep him in check. While Jackie Chan is trying to calm giant ape Goku down, Kal-El decides to end this issue once and for all. From the crowds, he's heard yelling, "Heat vision!" And then he shoots his heat vision at the moon. The beams from his eyes get bigger and bigger, and it begins to look like his eyes have become flamethrowers spitting out fire. But the moon doesn't seem to be budging. This is when Jackie Chan decides to help by launching a Kamehameha wave, and the combination of the two blasts actually destroys the moon. Kal-El then looks at the stage and sees that giant ape Goku still hasn't de-transformed, and he is now headed towards him. He had blasted giant ape Goku twice in the past, so subconsciously, the ape form of Goku recognizes Kal-El as a threat. Goku crashes into the stands, injuring and eliminating some people, and Kal-El tries running away from him, but he gets caught. Goku picks him up and roars directly into his face. Kal-El then uses a non-lethal heat vision, causing him to roar out in pain and drop him. He then continues to blast Goku with heat vision over and over again until he's knocked out. This is when Kal-El has the idea that maybe they should try to get Goku to control his giant ape form. 2 months later, Goku and Kal-El are at Capsule Corp, and Dr. Brief and Bulma have been trying to figure out how to get Goku to control his giant ape form. Although Earth's moon is destroyed, the Briefs are able to create a room with a simulated moon where they can trigger Goku's transformation. In their studying of Goku, they also decide to study Kal-El to figure out why Goku transforms, but Kal-El does not. This is when they discover that both Kal-El and Goku are not human, and additionally, Kal-El and Goku aren't even the same species. Kal-El understands what this means, but Goku doesn't, and he doesn't even seem to care. For a while now, Kal-El had suspected that Grandpa Gohan was probably not he and Goku's real grandfather. Gohan had never mentioned their parents, a wife, or having had children. So where would he and Goku have come from? Additionally, Goku turned into a giant ape and he can shoot fire from his eyes. And both these things shocked Gohan, so clearly Gohan knew nothing about who they really were. What shocked Kal-El, though, was the discovery that he and Goku were not actually brothers. He did not see that coming. He did, however, see his life as a blessing. He and Goku potentially come from faraway planets, and yet they were lucky enough to find each other and be raised by Grandpa Gohan. One morning, while the brothers are still at Capsule Corp, Kal-El is woken up by Goku screaming, "Kal-El! Kal-El!" He opens his eyes saying, "Yeah?" And Goku says, "You're flying! Kal-El, you're flying!" In his sleep, Kal-El had floated off of his bed and was hovering above it. When he realizes what he's doing, he instantly comes crashing onto the ground. Kal-El has just unlocked another ability, the ability to fly. Later that day, while Goku was on break from his giant ape training and Kal-El on break from his classes, the boys are talking about the flying. Goku says, Master Roshi says really good martial artists are able to use ki to fly. He said one day he will teach Krillin and I how to use ki. What's ki? Kal-El asks him, and Goku answers, I'm not too sure. He says it's life energy. Kal-El thinks on this. He can blast energy from his eyes, and now he can fly. Maybe he can do all these things because of ki. For the following months, Kal-El trains to master his flying and to improve his heat vision, while Goku learns how to control his giant ape form. Eventually, they both succeed. Bulma, over this time, had gone on a journey to find the 4-star Dragon Ball so she could return it to the boys, and she was able to accomplish that. Goku has been at Capsule Corp for about a year now, and he is able to control his giant ape form. He is ready to leave and go to continue his training with Master Roshi. Right now, he and Kal-El are 14 years old. He hops onto the flying Nimbus and makes his way back to Roshi's island. He travels with the 4-star Dragon Ball as he assumes that Grandpa Gohan will come visit the island, or he will go home to visit his grandpa at some point. On his way there, he runs into the Red Ribbon Army, and they give him trouble as they attempt to get the 4-star Dragon Ball from him. Goku goes on to destroy large portions of the Red Ribbon Army, up to and including General Blue. Goku then makes his way back to Roshi to continue his training. While Goku was learning how to control his giant ape form, Krillin was already back at Roshi's island training. So when Goku gets back there, Krillin is slightly ahead of him. They then continue their training in preparation for the 22nd Tenkaichi Budokai, which is just a year away. The 22nd World Tournament comes around, and when Goku and Krillin arrive there, they're glad to see Bulma, Yamcha, and Kal-El already there, ready to support them. The fights go as they did in the original story. It's in this tournament that we're introduced to a formidable fighter by the name of Tien Shinhan. Tien is a very good fighter, however, he's also slick and often uses underhanded techniques to get ahead. Tien makes it to the final against Goku. Tien and Goku have a really good fight. Goku notices Tien's underhanded tricks, but continues to fight honorably. Underhanded techniques or not, Tien is the superior fighter to Goku and thus begins getting the upper hand. With the fight about to conclude, Tien punches Goku and he falls to the ground, almost passed out. He looks at Goku and realizes that this fight has actually made him admire Goku. He had been fighting dirty, and yet Goku did not complain and did not fight dirty back. He walks up to Goku and is about to kick him off the arena when Kal-El, standing in the stands, pulls out a device the size of the Dragon Radar. He points it to the sky and pushes a button. While Goku is lying on the ground, on his back, he looks to the sky and smiles. He sees a full moon in the sky, and so he begins transforming into his giant ape form. The spectators start screaming in horror as they remember what this ape did in the past. Giant ape Goku roars at Tien, making him jump backwards in horror. He then looks over to his brother in the stands and says, "It's been a while." Goku goes on to defeat Tien and then de-transforms back into his normal size. After the fight, Tien asks to be Goku's friend because he admires his goodness and respects him for not using such a powerful transformation to just breeze through the competition. All his friends are happy that he won, but Goku is curious about the presence of the moon. Do moons just grow back into existence? He asks his brother, who replies, "No, Goku. Dr. Brief and I developed this device for you. It's a moon projector. You can use it to transform into your giant ape form whenever you want." "That's awesome," Goku replies. "And I did tell Krillin that I could control this form now. I wonder what he thinks. Where is he?" This is when the team realizes that Krillin is nowhere to be seen. Kal-El heads to the change rooms to look for him, and as he arrives, he sees King Piccolo fire a blast right through Krillin's chest, killing him. He immediately jumps in to attack King Piccolo, but unfortunately, Kal-El can't really fight anymore. Piccolo goes on to beat him, not even giving him a chance to use any of his special abilities. When Kal-El is lying on the floor, bloodied and in pain, Piccolo goes to pick up the 4-star Dragon Ball and says, "This is what I came for." He then charges up a powerful blast and throws it to Kal-El, and this blows up the entire building as well. When the change room building explodes, everyone heads there and finds it as a pile of rubble. The ground begins shaking, and Kal-El then emerges from the rubble and is just levitating there in the air. His clothes are all torn up, but he has no visible bruises or cuts. All he has is tears in his eyes. He looks to his brother and breaks the news that their friend Krillin is dead, and he couldn't even stop the person who did it. Demon King Piccolo did this. He killed him, Kal-El shouts in agony. So, why is Kal-El bloodied in one scene and then fine in the next? Well, unbeknownst to him, his invulnerability has just kicked in. In a combination of anger and heartbreak, Goku calls the Flying Nimbus, and he and Kal-El head off to fight King Piccolo. They arrive to where he is and see that he has gathered all 7 Dragon Balls and is making a wish for eternal youth. Once the wish is granted, Goku and Kal-El go in to attack him. The fight is epic. Goku and Kal-El are fighting from a point of hurt and Piccolo from a point of fun. Demon King Piccolo is a little irritated to be fighting children, but his opinion of them quickly changes when they start giving him a challenge. Goku is a skilled fighter and he's powerful. Kal-El is a subpar fighter, but he's versatile. He can fly, he has heat vision, and Piccolo can't seem to injure him the same way he could earlier on. I want to take a moment to go over Kal-El's abilities, especially his indestructibility. Kal-El's powers evolve and get stronger over time. When he initially gets them, they're strong, but not at their peak level yet. So looking at his indestructibility, he starts off with it being like a brick wall. It's hard, but not really indestructible. If a hard enough force was to hit it, it would cave in. Piccolo is struggling to handle Kal-El because he can sense energy levels, and Kal-El's energy level does not align with his level of physical feats, and it makes the fight a little confusing for Piccolo. Goku is a lot easier for him to read, but that doesn't mean he can easily handle him. This is a 2v1 of a very durable Kal-El and a formidable fighter in Goku, meaning that although it's a hard-fought battle, the brothers are able to defeat Piccolo. The last thing Demon King Piccolo hears is Ka Me Ha Me Heat Vision. The blast does not go through him, but it does hit him with enough force to end his life. As he lies there, dying, he begins to convulse as though he's about to throw up. A giant ball is then seen in his throat, and the Demon King vomits up a big egg, and then he dies. This is the birth of Piccolo Jr. 3 years pass. Goku and Kal-El are now 18 years old. What has happened over the last 3 years? The Dragon Balls were collected to revive Krillin. Our boy genius Kal-El and Bulma have actually graduated from university. Kal-El works at Capsule Corp and is focused on space travel and exploration, while Bulma focuses on her regular development of devices like her dad. Kal-El has developed the rest of his abilities: super strength, super speed, X-ray vision, super hearing, etc. Goku has been training harder than ever. We wrap up the story of Dragon Ball the same way as in canon. Goku fights in the World Martial Arts Tournament and makes it to the finals against Piccolo Jr. He defeats him the same way he did in canon. He then marries Chi-Chi and he and Chi-Chi move to go live with Grandpa Gohan while Kal-El remains in West City. That's it you guys, thanks for watching, do check out my other videos, and as always, mischief managed.